All right, Shalom. First of all, I want to start off by giving all praises and glory to Yahawaah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Makal Kadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. And salutations to all the Akim out there that's preaching this word in sincerity and in truth. And today I'm going to get into a lesson on how this earth is about to see the glory of the Lord on levels that's beyond understanding, that's beyond comprehension. You know, the Lord is finna show this earth his magnificent power, you know. We know when we see things happen on the earth, tornadoes, earthquakes, you know, hurricanes, we know that's of the Lord. But the Lord is going to have things happen to where you have no choice but to acknowledge this is coming directly from Yahawashi, Yahawashi, you know. This is Sirach 43 and 29. The Lord is terrible and very great and marvelous in his power. When ye glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can, for even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength and be not weary, for you can never go far enough. So you can't exalt the Heavenly Father enough. You can't exalt Yahawashi enough. You can't go far enough. You got to put forth all your effort and strength, you know. It says, who have seen him that he might tell us, and who can magnify him as he is? They are yet hid great things that these be, for we have seen but a few of his works. So we haven't even really seen the Lord's works. We only seen but a few of his works. We don't know what's out there in the universe, let alone we don't know what's on this planet, you know. The Amazon jungle, you know, the bottom of the ocean, you know. But so the Lord is about to release things on the earth that's going to blow this world's mind away, you know. You're going to have to be acknowledged that this is from Yahawashi, Yahawashi, you know. This is Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, the stress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So it's going to get so bad in these last days that we're entering into of America's destruction that men's hearts are going to fail them for fear. You're going to have people dropping dead of heart attacks because the Lord is about to unleash all holy hell on America, you know. And one thing he's going to release, like we speak about the nuclear missiles, we speak about the chariots, we speak about martial law, Esau coming with great wrath because he know he had but a short time. But we also have to speak on this. Leviathan is coming out the ocean. The Heavenly Father's great, powerful, mighty beast. His mighty creature is going to be released on America, you know, and on Esau. Esau is going to have to face Leviathan, who the world calls Godzilla, the Loch Ness monster, the fire-breathing dragon. You look at that as science fiction or fairy tale. No, that's actually real. And Esau has the records. He knows this creature exists. And he can't catch this creature, you know, because this creature is beyond his understanding. And when this Lord releases Leviathan, it's going to blow the whole world's mind away to see this great, powerful beast destroy, bring death and destruction, you know. This is Psalms 104 and 24. O Lord, how mindful are thy works, and wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy riches. So is this great and wide sea, wherein are things creeping innumerable, both small and great beasts. So you got things creeping innumerable, both small and great beasts. You got crabs in the ocean, fishes, you know, catfish, whales, you know, the dolphins, seals. You got all types of beasts that swim inside the ocean that the Heavenly Father created. But you have one beast that's ruler over them all. There go the ships. There is that Leviathan whom thou hast made to play therein. So Leviathan actually plays with ships, and he's gonna play with Esau's ships, his battle cruisers, you know. Leviathan is gonna have a ball fucking Esau's shit up, you know. Psalms 104 and 24. These wait all upon the Lord, that they may give them their meat in due season. So these was talking about Leviathan. They're waiting on the Lord. To the Heavenly Father gives them their meat in due season. So the Lord is going to release Leviathan on the wicked. Because that's, matter of fact, I'm going to get this. This is Sirach 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So the Heavenly Father has spirits created for vengeance. So Leviathan is actually a beast created for the Lord's vengeance, to bring judgment to the so-called white man. It says fire and hail and famine and death, all these are created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts. Teeth of wild beasts. Leviathan is an actual beast that lives in the ocean with very sharp teeth, which we're going to get into the details of Leviathan. It says teeth of wild beasts and scorpions and serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. So the Heavenly Father is going to put the spirit on Leviathan to come out the ocean to bring destruction to the wicked, you know? And whether you believe it or not, you don't have to believe, but when it's actually in your face and you face with it, it's a reality. Hell, you might just drop dead, like we read. Men's hearts fell in there for fear and for looking after those things that shall be coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So a lot of you people, when you see Leviathan, you're going to drop dead just off the sight of seeing Leviathan, you know? This is Wisdom of Solomon 11. Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 17. For thy almighty hand that have made the world of matter without frame, it says, wanted not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions or unknown wild beasts full of rage, newly created, breathing out either a fiery vapor or filthy scents of scattered smoke. So it says newly created. The Heavenly Father has newly created creatures that he's going to release, breathing either a fiery vapor, breathing out fire, because Leviathan can actually breathe fire out of his mouth, or filthy scents of smoke, or shooting horrible sparkles out of their eyes. So what type of beast? I've never seen no beast like that. You know what that's going to do to you people when you actually see that? Whereof not only the harm might dispatch them at once, but also the terrible sight utterly destroyed them. So the terrible sight of Leviathan is going to utterly destroy you. That's how terrible this beast is to look upon, you know? And you Esau, you're going to be faced with fighting Leviathan, you know, coming against Leviathan. And then this is Job 41 and 1. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord when thou lettest down? So the Heavenly Father's being sarcastic. Esau, you got all these creatures in your zoo. You got all these creatures locked up, but can you lock up Leviathan? Can you go fishing? Can you go fishing Leviathan? You know, don't cast out your cord and catch a Leviathan? Can thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw with a thorn? Will he make supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Like I was saying, you got these zoo animals as servants. Can you take Leviathan as a servant forever? Can you put him in a zoo? No. You can't catch this beast. And if you do run across this beast, you're going to be utterly destroyed, you know? Just by looking at the beast, you're going to be terrified, you know? How much more when you got to be faced with him destroying your ships, destroying your battle cruisers, you know, shooting fire on you. Hey, oh man, that's some fairy tale poem. That's that Godzilla shit. Well, Godzilla is real. Are we reading about it? It's Leviathan. And you're going to have to face this, Esau. Wilt thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with the fish spears? Lay thy hand upon him, remember the battle, do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? Like we were saying. Matter of fact, I'm going to read that back in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 11, verse 19. Wherefore not only the harm might dispatch them at once, but also the terrible sight utterly destroyed him. So Leviathan is so terrible of a beast to look upon, you're going to pretty much give up the ghost off just looking at him. How much more having to deal with him, his power, you know? This is Job 41 and 9. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? So you're going to be cast down just by looking at this terrible beast. And this is from the Heavenly Father, Yahawashi, that he's going to release on America. Leviathan will come out the ocean and fuck shit up. Job 41:10. None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Who have prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. So the Heavenly Father is not going to conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. He's going to give him the order to come out that ocean, you know, and fuck shit up. Because the Heavenly Father is the only one that can release Leviathan. And he's going to give the order on the spirits created for vengeance to hop on Leviathan to come out and bring vengeance to the wicked. Job 41:13. Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. So his teeth are terrible to look upon. Sharp teeth, like we read in Sirach 39, spirits created for vengeance, teeth of wild beasts. It says his teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a closed seal. So his scales are sealed shut, you know. It says one is so near to another that no air can come between them. So that's how his scales are. They're shut tight. The air can't even seep between them, you know. They are joined one to another. They stick together that cannot be sundered. By his sneezings, a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. So his eyes actually glow. He actually has glowing eyes. What type of creature? We never seen this, you know, besides the movies. What type of creature is this? You know, and this is what you're gonna have to face, Esau. It says, out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks leap out. So he actually can breathe fire. Just like you see that Godzilla, he blows that fire out. Well, Leviathan breathe. They got that concept from the scriptures. Leviathan actually breathes fire. Out of his nostrils goes smoke as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. So he blows fire, you know. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. So destroying Esau's ships, seeing his tanks get blown up to pieces, that's going to bring actual joy to Leviathan. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. His heart is firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of nether millstone. So his heart is as firm as a stone. When he riseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. So when he comes out the ocean, even the mighty are going to be afraid. Esau is going to be terrified. You're going to be on your battleships, your cruisers, and you're going to be faced with Leviathan. By reason of his breakings, they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold the spear, the dart, nor the hargeborn. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. So iron is like straw to Leviathan. And you know straw is nothing. You can easily break straw up. So that's how the iron is to Leviathan. Iron is nothing. It says, and brass is rotten wood. You know, rotten wood breaks easily. So that's brass and iron is what Leviathan would esteem as straw and wood, rotten wood, you know? So what type of beast is this, you know? But Esau, you're gonna have to face this beast. The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. So Esau, you're gonna be shooting your rocket launchers, your tanks, all your ammo at Leviathan. It's gonna bounce right off him. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. So he maketh the deep to boil like a pot. So the deep actually boils at his presence, because he's an actual beast that produces heat. And you know, the deeper you go in the ocean, the colder it gets. It says he maketh the deep to boil like a pot, you know? What type of beast is this? But Esau, you're gonna have to face this beast. Job 41:32. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary, Upon the earth there is none like him who is made without fear. He is made without fear. Leviathan has no fear. He's the top apex predator. There is no other beast higher than Leviathan, you know, in the sea, you know. Leviathan is the top beast on the planet Earth that the Heavenly Father is going to release on this earth to bring. It's part of the plagues that the Lord is going to bring. Like I said, the Lord speaks about the chariots coming, bringing fire. The Lord speaks about Esau coming with martial law, about more famine, death, destruction, the nuclear missiles, which is the icing on the cake. But we got to start speaking on Leviathan more, because the Heavenly Father is going to release this beast on Esau. It says Job 41:34. He beholdeth all things. He is the king over all the children of pride. You know, which is talking about you so-called white people. You're the children of pride. So he's going to rule over you. He's going to utterly destroy you. Leviathan will be released out the sea to utterly bring death and destruction to you so-called white people, the Edomites, to your kingdom, you know. And this is what the Heavenly Father has in store for you, Esau. Not only do you have to deal with the chariots of the Lord, men of the Lord receiving spiritual power, you know, famine, death, destruction, nuclear missiles, you're going to have to deal with the great almighty Leviathan. And I'm going to end it off with this. Sirach 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and serpents and scorpions, punishing the wicked to destruction. So Leviathan is coming out to sea to punish the wicked to destruction. So with that, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem, Makar, Kadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom.